My kids are not welcome to come live with me after they're 18. I am very straightforward about
I don't have friends.
I don't have friends either.
I literally told my friends I'm not hanging out with them anymore
Because
they say some pretty messed up stuff.
I don't even know where they live.
How do you feel about not having any friends?
Sucks, but I don't feel safe.
That's really vulnerable of you to say that on camera, because you...
Eve did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? Because I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch. And it would ease her discomfort if I came to the school with a lunch. But I responded and just said, Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry.
Okay, Russell. I'm only gonna say it one more time, and then you're gonna lose the privilege to eat dinner.
Well, hello. Here we are again to discuss the 8 Passengers family channel. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that back in the summer, I did an entire deep dive on the 8 Passengers. Basically from Ruby and her craziness, her legit craziness, her cult-like tendencies, the cult that she's a part of now, connections, as well as her husband's role, Kevin, in this whole situation, and also discussing how their tactics have been really affecting their 6 children. 8 Passengers consist of Ruby and Kevin Frank and their 6 children, Shari, who was 19, Chad, who was 17, Abby, who was 15, Julie, who was 13, Russell, who was 10, I believe, or 11. I have to check that. And their youngest, Eve, who is now 9. Ruby has come under harsh scrutiny for the manner in which she chooses to raise her children, threatening to take her child's dinner away, to not giving her 5-year-old daughter, her then 5-year-old daughter, lunch, insisting that she has to pack her own lunch, making her own daughter get her youngest daughter ready for school, constantly picking on her elder son, Chad, and sending him to a troubled teen camp, which we know is a whole hellhole on its own. They're hellholes. You know, I gotta be honest, I feel like I was a little too forgiving in my last video in regards to them. Troubled teen camps are hellholes, okay? Maybe there's 2-3 good ones, but majority of them are terrible. So now, since that video, more disturbing news has come out about the 8 Passengers family, and it has many on the internet very concerned. So rumors have been swirling that Ruby has gotten knee deep, literally knee deep into this Connections cult. And so please watch my other video if you want more information on the Connections group. Connection is basically a group that claims to be a group that helps the lost and stranded in the darkness of distortion, addictions, fear, sadness, and all other self-destructive behaviors derived from. This group is just wacko. Basically, the head honcho of this, Jody Hildebrandt, basically seems to have Ruby under a leash, literally has Ruby on a leash. And she's been on probation as a mental health counselor and has been accused of blackmail, and these are public records. The group also weaponizes Christianity to the fullest, and as a proud Christian, it boils my blood when we have people that weaponize the faith. We have people that will cherry pick the Bible, and then you have others who are just, unfortunately too naive to see through the ruse. They don't read the word for themselves, which is why I say, as a Christian, if you're a Christian watching this, you need to read the word for yourself and don't just get a spoon-fed. Pastors and leaders are great and we need them. We need to be accountable to them. But we also need to be reading the word for ourselves so that way we can fact check some of the crap that they'll try to spew, because a lot of them are not genuine and they're wolves, they're sheep, they're wolves in sheep's clothing. Is that the phrase? Why did I forget? But you know what I mean. But aside from that, a lot of their advice is extremely harmful and incredibly self-serving. As of September 21st, a woman by the name of Tressa Marshall Heyman came forward to discuss her experience with the Connections group and to warn people about how dangerous it is. So Tressa posted this on Google, but apparently Jody and Ruby must have gotten the Google review taken down. So Tressa ended up posting her review of Ruby and Jody and Connections on her Facebook page. And so this reads, I have grave concerns about the organizations called Connections Classroom and Moms of Truth. My husband and I took the first course for couples and benefited from being reminded to not tell ourselves unhelpful or untrue stories and to validate and invite one another to listen when we feel we have another perspective to share. We are grateful for the correct principles we have been reminded of through the course material. However, there were some serious red flags we witnessed while taking the course and through subsequent exposure to connections. Though I recognize that there is a need for helpful counseling to help heal relationships, destructive division is actually a dangerous and major part of what Connections is perpetrating. The biggest problem I see is that Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Franke do not use the principles they purport to teach.
Alright y'all, so editor me popping in here to let you know that I did not read the whole thing. I actually skipped ahead to read the most important parts. So I just wanted to mention that because this is a very long post, but it is extremely thorough and very important, and I'm really happy that this person posted this.
Who see her methods and manners as emotionally and mentally detrimental, even abusive. Ruby, who is known by many for her role as a YouTube influencer and a person trying to help families succeed at home, is a gifted and intelligent woman, but something has changed. For example, Jody and Ruby seem to think themselves synonymous with truth, always written with a capital T, which makes it appear that they have some type of God complex going on, and this gives off the warning signs of a cult-like mentality. Ruby and Jody frequently make quick judgments about a situation without knowing or seeking to know enough of the details, and have been known to reflect truth by saying, "I feel sorry for you. It is obvious that you were lost, your anxiety/depression/ are a result of not taking responsibility for your feelings, and children have no right to privacy. I recommend you kick your daughter out of the home for her rudeness and take her off your health insurance." Okay, so I'm basically gonna stop right there. She basically continues to say that she feels obligated to warn people, to investigate connections, and to make sure that they get out of them, and that Ruby and Jody are master manipulators. So that's scary to me. Like, Ruby, to me, it's like, I feel like some of the things she says, I see in some ways where she's getting at, but she will take the most simple instruction, or maybe like, let's say, maybe try to limit your kid's phone time, for example. And she'll radicalize that to like, don't let them have a phone until they're 25. Oh, lock them down. Oh, take away everything. It's like, she'll take the most minor infractions and she'll just elevate it to this huge thing. And it's like, taking your kid off the health insurance? What kind of sick, twisted person thinks that that's going to teach their kids a lesson? This woman is insane, and she scares the living crap out of me, okay? I can't imagine how her children feel if this is how I feel, and I'm on the outside looking in. We're on the outside looking in, like us as viewers, we're on the outside looking in, but imagine how these young kids are faring. And then they have to grow up, and look at Shari. So I'm going to get to Shari in a couple minutes here, but this is what I'm saying is like, it's very, very crazy. It's just insane. So what was super notable about this post was not only did Tressa speak out against Connections, but Shari commented in support of this post. And I was really proud because, I never had anything really against Shari. I think in some of the videos she came off a little pretentious, but she was a kid. She was a little kid. She was like 13, 14. She was just trying to please her parents. So I give her a pass. But she came out in support of this post. So this is huge because I think Shari has been realizing over the past several years that how she grew up was abnormal and unhealthy. So Shari also made a post on her Instagram story saying that she's no longer in contact with her immediate family, but she hopes people can respect their privacy. So her story reads, "I know that there are many rumors circulating online about my family. While it is true I am not in contact with my immediate family and I don't support the extreme beliefs of Connections, please remember that this is my real family. Despite good intentions, speculating, rumors, and gossip doesn't help us. I'd like to ask for privacy for me and my family as we work through this very difficult situation. Please know that many are working on this situation and I hope one day that we can be whole again. Please respect my privacy as I work through my own healing as well." I think it's very notable and strong of Shari to come out and say that and say like, okay, I'm not in contact with my immediate family, but please, we ask for privacy. Again, she's working through her own healing, which is huge. I think her going away to school and her just becoming a young adult, because I think I've mentioned this in past videos, but something I always remember from my adolescent psychology class was we learned that around the time of your 20s, like your late teens or early 20s, you start to step back and you start to look at your parents more as people rather than your parents. They're not like these parents, these figures you have to obey. You start to look back at them and look at them as people, and I think that's what's happening with Shari right now. She's looking at her parents as flawed individuals and not these super parents or not these drill sergeants. She's looking at them as flawed people. She's recognizing that Ruby's, you know, supposed complex is a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of bull. I think she's realizing that. I think also there have, you know, been speculation, like, is Shari in contact with her brother and her father, who have been rumored to have left the house? I will get into that. I mean, honestly, there's not much we can really speculate on because they haven't come out and said, okay, we're separated, we're doing this, we went to court, this, that. Like, none of that's happened. We can only go off of what is inferred on social media or what people have found, internet sleuths, you know, have found. Again, I think Shari had a huge responsibility because I really think that she lived her life and the way she was out of self-preservation. I think she was acting the way she was acting because she saw how crazy her mom especially went on her siblings. She's like, yo, I don't want to get mixed up with any of that. She took my bro's bed away. She took his door away. I don't want that smoke. I think from a very young age, she was like, yo, I don't want that smoke. My mom will literally destroy my life if I step out of line. So I think she made such a concerted effort to stay in line. And I think, again, she's realizing that, wow, this is not normal. This is not healthy. And I need to get healing for this. So I'm hoping that Shari is getting the proper support. I've seen that she's in contact with Ruby's side of the family. So Ruby's siblings don't support this, like her sister, who's also a YouTuber, does not support this. I think she was out having lunch with Kevin's grandparents. So it seems that she has a tribe, as well as I've seen them comment on her social media. So it seems that Shari does have a little corner of support and a tribe to back her with this. And I think maybe when she says we're working on the situation, I think she's trying to collaborate with them to see what can be done about the household, because the nuclear family is basically falling apart. And I think, you know, she's doing her best, but honestly, I feel bad. She's 19. She needs to focus on her books. I'm sorry. Like, this should be the adults. Like, I feel like I get it that this is Shari's family and she is 19. But for me, I'd be like, yo, focus on school, which I'm sure they're probably telling her, focus on school, live your life, try not to worry about this as much as possible because you've already had to bear the brunt of the responsibility. You've already had to age quicker than you needed to. You already had to basically, and I'm inferring this, act like a shell in order to protect yourself because your mom was so heavy-handed with her punishments. For me, you know, if it were my 19-year-old, now granted, I'm only 24, so, you know, but if I had a child of that age, I would say, look, focus on school as much as you can. You know, you are an adult, but still, you are still like a college student, you know? Again, college sometimes I think can be one of the best time periods for a young adult because it exposes you to responsibility and different perspectives. I mean, when are you ever going to be around that many people your own age again? I think that's what college is great for. You know, a lot of people like to say college is a scam, college is a scam, but it can really open up your world. And if you lived in a messed up like childhood or environment, being exposed to other people can really open up your mind. So I'm very proud of Shari for that. And I hope she's doing well in the midst of all this chaos. So now lastly, we're going to discuss Chad and Kevin. So there have been rumors that Chad and Kevin have left the house and that Chad is living in housing in BYU. A Reddit user also posted screenshots of Chad's Venmo transactions. Venmo transactions are public unless you opt to make them private. So these transactions were verified to be Chad Franke, and he's sending money to his mom for the apartment, his apartment, I guess for books and stuff, which is wild because he's still paying his mother, which is wild. I don't understand that. So a lot of people have said that he lives in housing near BYU. I can't verify that. If you know about the situation, you know, please comment below if that's true because not sure. Kevin is also rumored to be out of the house as well, and Kevin doesn't have any contact with his other 4 children, allegedly. So a Reddit post basically said that a verified source has contacted that Kevin is no longer in the home, and that that Shari has distanced herself completely from Ruby. They've talked about how CPS has been called to the house to investigate Ruby's behavior to the children. They say that Jody is allegedly living at the house. Again, this is all alleged. I don't know if this is true. This was posted by University Parking 414 on Reddit. So thank you for the post. Yeah, so I don't know. All I'm saying is this is what's being speculated online. Again, all I'm going to say about that is it's kind of crazy if Kevin is gone really, but I don't think he'd leave his kids knowing that his wife is causing so much havoc for himself and his family. Like, I don't think he would just leave his 4 younger kids to fend for themselves. I think they're working on the situation, and I feel good about that something is seeming to be done behind the scenes. But again, like, we're not going to know unless someone comes out and says this is happening, that's happening.
So, you know, I don't doubt that what's being said on Reddit is true, and There's been Reddit moderators such as University Parking 414. So again, shout out to that person, you know, that's been verifying these things. But personally for me, I definitely want to hear something from the family, like directly. Probably Shari probably would be like the most likely mouthpiece, or the sister. So I don't know, that's just how I feel. But obviously there is a rift. Like, that's very obvious that there's a separation, there's a rift. Like, there's no denying that at all. So, and again, this is definitely for the best, because they're waking up to like how messed up this family unit has been. But I'm just really scared for the other children. I feel really bad for them, what they're going through. And I really just hope that, you know, everything can be solved and that there can be reconciliation. I do pray for this family, that they can come together and that a lot of the brokenness can be healed and restored, because this is terrible. A lot of this is so, like, when I first heard about this family, I was shook. I was like, I can't believe that this woman is being so bold and saying this stuff online. And she doesn't fear any retribution, any sort of backlash at all. It's like she's immune to it. Those kind of people are dangerous when they get backlash and don't care. That's dangerous. So again, I wish the best for the family. I just wanted to give this update to my last video. And again, I hope the best for all of them. And, you know, I don't know if Shari would be watching this video, but if she is, look, I think you are a really strong kid for going through all of this, and I think you will be okay, because it's better you recognize it now than in 10 years when you're 29. Like, it's better you know it at 19 than when you're 29. So yeah, I thank you guys for watching this video. I wanted to give a really quick update. So I finished my boot camp, my tech boot camp that I was in. I am now a UX UI designer. And if there's anyone out there that works in tech, whether you're a software engineer, if you're a data analyst, if you're whatever, reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn and I'm looking to make new connections with people in the tech field. And yeah, I'm really excited about this new career that I'm embarking on. You know, I've been working really hard and I am really passionate about it. So yeah, I'm very excited to be done and to officially call myself a designer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.